Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Holly. Today we're reading some Reddit. Let's get into it. Am I the a-hole for refusing to donate my kidney to my dying sister because she got with my high school bully? I'm a 35-year-old gay man. When I was in high school, I was bullied severely by Darren. I won't go into details, but it was really bad, past the point of typical high school douchebaggery. In my sophomore year, I made the mistake of coming out to one of my friends. Oh, who promptly spread the information around the school. Before this, Darren had targeted me for being unathletic and wearing glasses, and had done this to a couple other kids as well, but after I was outed, it was only me, and only because of my sexuality. Wow, Darren sounds like a douche, for sure. After high school, I moved away for college. I made friends, even got a boyfriend, and pretty much forgot about Darren until one Thanksgiving, my sister, Ellie, brought home her boyfriend, Darren. No joke. The first thing he said when he saw me was, "Damn, Ellie, you didn't tell me your brother's a FAG." Ellie laughed, as did my dad. I was kind of stunned, but I didn't yell or start a fight. I just got up and walked out. Wow, you're a bigger person than me. I probably would have had words with my sister and Darren. After the fact, my family tried to play it off as Darren was joking because he was nervous meeting the family, and they told me that he and Ellie were serious, so I had to get over it. I told them that I wouldn't be attending any event where Darren was. There. In private, I told Ellie that I felt hurt that she'd date Darren, knowing what he did to me. She basically called me too sensitive and told me she has the right to date who she likes, which, yeah, she does. Wow, your sister sounds like a piece of work, too. Since then, I've been putting distance between myself and my family, who seem to have readily accepted Darren into the fold. Recently, my mother reached out to me to tell me Ellie was in the hospital and needed a kidney transplant. The rest of the family has been tested, and none could donate, and my mom wanted me to get tested because I'm her full brother, with a high likelihood of a match. The thing is, after all these years, Ellie is basically a stranger to me. If I were to do this, I'd have to drive 3 states back to my hometown, miss who knows how much work, and give up a piece of my flesh, all for the woman who dated and eventually married the guy who made my high school days a living hell. I told my mom that I wouldn't be getting tested, and she freaked out at me over the phone. Wow. I quickly hung up on her, but before I did, I heard her call me vindictive and a monster for refusing to save my sister's life. I admit, I feel a bit guilty about it. I don't think you're a monster. I can understand where your mom's coming from. Like, she just wants her children to live, but I can understand where you're coming from. Your sister betrayed your trust, and if you give her a kidney, you'll have one less kidney. But if you give her a kidney, you'll still have your sister. So that's a hard decision to make. Let's see what the others say. This user says, not the a-hole. Don't feel guilty. She chose a person who was a monster to you growing up and insulted you as soon as he saw you later on as an adult. F her and her kidneys. I'd go no contact if I was you. I went no contact on my shitty family and couldn't be happier. Well, good for you. Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my sister's wedding after what I overheard her say about me? This was posted 4 months ago. I, 26 female, need an outside perspective because my entire family is split, and I honestly don't know if I'm overreacting or finally standing up for myself. My sister, Emily, 30 female, is getting married in 2 months. Growing up, we were never super close. She was always the golden child. If you know, you know. And I was kind of just there. Not ignored per se, but definitely not celebrated the same way. Still, I agreed to be a bridesmaid because my mom begged me and said it would mean the world to Emily. Planning has been stressful, but nothing crazy until last weekend. That's when I overheard Emily talking to her maid of honor. She didn't know I was on the stairs. She was drunk, laughing, and said, I only asked her to be bridesmaid so my mom would shut up. She's always ruining things anyway. I swear to God, if she shows up looking for attention, I'll lose it. Her friend laughed and said something like, "Well, at least you'll look better next to her, so." "How dare she?" Emily said, "Exactly, so it's kind of a win-win." I froze. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Those bitches. For context, I've struggled with my confidence for years, especially compared to Emily. She knows this. She's made comments my whole life about my weight, my hair, my clothes, and has always framed it as helpful advice. Unasked for advice? Most likely. I went back upstairs and didn't say anything the rest of the weekend. When we got home, I sent her a message saying I was stepping down as bridesmaid and wouldn't be attending the wedding. I didn't explain why at first, I just said I needed space and wished her the best. But after I stepped down, she kept pushing for a reason and why I stepped down, and that it didn't make sense that I was once again being dramatic as always. I didn't tell her exactly what I heard, but I did tell her that I overheard a conversation at the bachelorette party that really hurt me. She put two and two together on her own after that. Then she lost it. Wait, she lost it? On you? Girl. She called me crying, saying I was purposely sabotaging her big day, that I was being dramatic, that everyone says things they don't mean when they're drunk. Shaking my head. My mom called me next and said I was punishing the whole family over a misunderstanding. My dad says I should be the bigger person. Here's where it gets worse. Yesterday, Emily posted in the bridesmaids group chat that I forgot I was still in, that she's heartbroken, that I'm abandoning her, and that she never meant to hurt me. But she never apologized. Not once. Now half my family is texting me saying I'm selfish, and the other half is telling me I finally did what they wish they had the courage to do. Oh, so she's a nightmare to everyone else too, not just you? I haven't responded to anyone yet. Am I the a-hole for refusing to go to her wedding after overhearing that conversation? I'm conflicted, and I don't know what to do. And part of me is telling myself that I am. Girl, I wouldn't go either. You deserve to be treated way better than that. The fact that she was talking such smack about you the night before her wedding instead of just enjoying herself and worrying about herself says a lot. Update. We have an update. Emily showed up at my apartment unannounced about an hour-ish ago. Like Jesus, can it get any worse? I was ignoring all of her calls and texts, so she thought this would be the next best thing to do. Like what? Get the hint, girl. At first she cried. A lot. This is the usual, just wanted to say. She said she felt attacked, and that I'm being unreasonable and I'm trying to turn our family against her, which is not what's happening. I let her speak until then. Then I asked her directly if she remembered what she said at the bachelorette party. And she went quiet. Just stared at me. It was awkward as heck. After that awkward long pause, she admitted she remembered it, but said I took it out of context. Out of context? According to her, she meant that I always ruin things just as I stress her out because I'm sensitive and need reassurance. She said the comment about my looks was obviously a joke, and that her friend didn't mean it that way. I swear to God, it took everything in me not to lose my shit. Then she said something that honestly broke what was left of our relationship. You should be grateful I even included you. People would notice if you weren't there. I told her to leave. Get the fuck out now, and that she was a vile human being. She got up and slammed my door and left. Girl, bye. Right? Wow. She says you're dramatic. I think we know who the dramatic one is. Now, 20 minutes ago, my mom called me screaming. Apparently, Emily told her I attacked her, and that I called her a narcissist, and that I threatened to ruin the wedding. None of this is true, but my mom will not listen to me no matter what I say. It's like talking to a brick wall, and it hurts. And we can see why Emily is the way she is. She's obviously spoiled by mom, huh? My cousin, who was also at the bachelorette weekend, texted me. I'm talking with her now. She said she overheard the same conversation I did, but even more was said that I didn't hear. According to her, Emily also complained that I'd look bad in photos. No, she didn't. She said she hoped I wouldn't get emotional and cry and joked about putting me at the end of the bridesmaid line so I'd be easier to crop out. Her own sister. Like, I genuinely don't know how to handle my emotions right now. My cousin is apologizing for not telling me sooner and said she feels sick about it now. So, yeah. As of now, I'm officially not attending the wedding. Emily has blocked me, and good riddance, honestly. My mom says I've destroyed the family. Okay, Mom. Which I feel guilty for, but like, what else am I supposed to do? And I'm being uninvited from family events unless I fix this. I still feel awful, but I don't feel wrong. I guess I will update more tomorrow or whenever I can. Sleeping tonight is going to be rough. I'm being blown up and just need a darn break. Wow. Okay, you're definitely not the a-hole. I wouldn't go to that wedding either. Girl, I would just say bye-bye to the whole family. Like, if they're gonna allow her to ruin family events because she's being petty, bye. Enjoy your time together. This user says the saying is punching bag. Yeah, you're being treated like the punching bag. You're the scapegoat. You deserve better. You deserve to be treated better. Best of luck to you. I hope your sister trips on her face as she walks down the aisle. All right, this one was posted 1 year ago. Am I the a-hole for not taking my ex-wife back after she left me for an alpha male? My ex, 30 female, wants to get back with me, 29 male, after she left me about a year and a half ago. She come crawling back, huh? I had been with my ex for 7 years, married for 5. It felt like love at first sight, and everything felt so natural when we met. After about 2 years of dating, we decided to tie the knot. Not soon after, we welcomed our baby boy. He was a pandemic baby, so my wife ended up quitting her job while I continued to work as a line cook and started doing Uber Eats on the side. Oh, you let her stay home with the babies and you took over more work? Stand up guy. After things went a bit back to normal, my wife told me she doesn't want to be one of those women who lose their passion after settling down. So she went back to finish law school and take her bar. Good for her. Of course, I wholeheartedly supported her and we tried to make it work. After she passed, she immediately got hired at a firm downtown through the help of her friend, Dumbo, 33 female. This is where the problem started. Slowly, our marriage life began deteriorating as she started to pull away. She'd work long hours and barely spend any time with us. She'd go out drinking to network with her work colleagues on the weekend, sometimes even going out of town. At home, she'd always just be pissy with me. It's like her personality did a complete 180. This wasn't the sweet, nurturing girl I fell in love with all those years ago. Our intimacy became almost non existent. After going through therapy, I can now see that I am to blame as well. Oh, owning it. Good for you. I should have communicated better and shared how I felt. Luckily, the highlight through this was my son. Seeing him grow and being there for a lot of his first made everything feel like it'll be okay. You sound like a good dad. One day, she finally came up to me and asked for a divorce, and I wasn't surprised. I felt everything was eventually going to lead up to this, but I still didn't want to give up. I asked her if she was sure about this, if she wants to make it work. I recommended couples counseling or temporary separation. She declined both those offers and told me she found someone else. Oh. Hearing this shattered me. Her changing and us growing apart, I can understand, but never once would I have thought that she would be the type to even entertain other men. What a nasty B word. She told me it's some partner at her firm. When did my life become a Korean rom-com? She told me that he invited her out a couple times and showed her the life of luxury she deserves. Sounds like she does not deserve it. We argued for a bit, and she told me that he is twice the man as me. She called me feminine for being a stay-at-home dad. And what about me working 2 jobs during the pandemic? To her, those weren't real jobs. I was a delivery driver and a cook. Wow. She told me this new guy is an alpha male who knows a woman's needs and how to take care of her. Ugh, disgusting. She bragged about how tall and muscular he is, how he has a real job, and took her on a weekend getaway that she told me were work-related. And here's the kicker. He's such a man, he doesn't want to make things official until me and her are separated. Wow, what a gentleman. I almost laughed at how delusional my ex has become. I asked her, what about our son? And she said I can have him. What a bitch. He likes me better anyways. Wow. I think this hurt the most. I couldn't believe she said something about her own son like that, throwing him away like he's some object. For the first time, I couldn't recognize the person in front of me. I won't lie. I did let the anger get the best of me and said some hurtful things. I could tell she was taken back by this, probably because I am almost never that angry. She turned around and left. Good for you saying something. At least you didn't stand there and take it. After she left, I cried my eyes out for 2 weeks hoping she'd call and come back. I don't know. I didn't love her anymore, but life without her felt so scary. The only thing that kept me going was my son. I knew I couldn't turn to the bottle or go down this dark path because of him. I managed to beg for my job back, and they rehired me for some weekend nights only, which is better than nothing. You're a good man. You sound like a really good father. I spent the next month just putting my head down and working in silence. The divorce proceedings were moving quickly, and before I knew it, it was official. The worst part about this was I felt like I had no support system. On social media, everyone was praising her for being the strong, independent woman who broke free of some metaphoric shackles, like I was some villain holding her back. And not a single person messaged me on how I'm doing. And thank God they didn't, because this is what made me want to try therapy, and I hadn't looked back since. For all those that are unsure about therapy, I'm telling you, it works. Yeah, good for you. Now fast forward to this week. I received a call from an unknown number, and when I picked it up, it was my ex on the other line, bawling. Oh, boo-hoo. She told me how her alpha male boyfriend found someone else. Shocker. And she's too afraid to confront him because he's a partner at her firm. She finally explained her perspective and how everything led up to this point. Basically, my ex has admittedly always been a really pretty and social butterfly. After she had her son and the pandemic hit, she felt ugly and insecure, even if I told her she was pretty. So I guess when she got her job, she got the validation that she wanted. Of course, feeding into these delusions was Dumbo, who recently had divorced her husband and poisoned my ex's thoughts with how I'm a failure as a man, how my ex is way prettier than me and she deserves someone of her standards. I see why you're calling her Dumbo. Apparently, I'm a beta male who rolls over and has stopped her from being free. She said a lot more specific stuff too that I think I'll keep to myself here. But it was definitely an eye-opening conversation. I shouldn't have pushed my ex away to be vulnerable enough to listen to Dumbo. But still, after hearing all this, I was really just disappointed more than anything that she would be stupid enough to throw away everything on some whim and peer pressure. My ex asked if we could try again. No, bitch. She told me how she misses me and how she took me and all I did for granted. For example, I always made her lunch in the morning, made sure she's up to date with her pills, and so on. She misses the little things. I admit to telling her that I missed her too, and I know our son does for sure. But she did make every decision herself. And what if things worked out with the other guy? I'm not some consolation prize she can just come running back to. She cried and told me that she wanted me back a week after she left, but was too prideful to call. I firmly told her no and hung up. Good for you. Good job. That's right. Since then, my phone has been blowing up from friends and family that I'm heartless, that my wife was vulnerable and taken advantage of, and instead of picking up the pieces and helping her, I'm leaving her to fend for herself. Not gonna lie, that message hurt the most. I respect her father a lot, so I heard him out. He wants me to come over for a resolution intervention this weekend and bring my son. They just want a conversation to hear both sides and see if it really is resolvable. I'm attending, but I'm going to stay firm with my answer. But all the recent messages have been making me rethink my stance. I just want to make sure I'm not in the wrong before I attend. So, am I the a-hole? I don't think you're the a-hole. I wouldn't take her back either. This person says, not the a-hole, and don't waste your time discussing some stupid resolution with her dad. She's a cheater who betrayed her family. You deserve better than that. She's just mad now because she's seeing the consequences of her actions. She turned her life to trash. She's the only one that can flip it up. Okay, well, that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!